Yeah, so when I first played Fire Emblem, way back when, this is my first Fire Emblem game, and I got to this chapter, no matter how many save states I used, I could not beat it. Because it was my first Fire Emblem game, my EXP was all over the place. You know, I thought that generals were the most busted unit in the game, so I put a whole lot into Oswin and Wallace, and, you know, basically relied on them, and it couldn't get me through, and I was screwed at this point, and I needed to start the entire game over from the beginning again, with an exact idea of who I was going to level up, and then I managed to beat it on my second time through. But man, did this final lap give me a lot of trouble back when. Now it's harder than I've ever seen it before now that we're playing on Hector hard mode. But I'm a lot more experienced at Fire Emblem nowadays. Like, I am so decked out here compared to what I would have been back when. You know, this is... I'm probably gonna be fine, but it's gonna be scary. Lord Ellawood, Lord Hector. Merlinus, thank you for everything. You're made of sterner stuff than I'd imagined. Thought you'd have fled by now. I thought as much. You're not taking me with you. Oh. That's disgusting. Cry if you must, but do something about that runny nose. What are we supposed to do? We can't fight, so we can't afford to take you with us. Merlinus just becomes the most busted unit ever right now. I actually don't remember this scene. Take this and return to Fargus' ship. What is this, if I may ask? A letter of introduction. Take this to Ostia, and you'll be able to do good business there. Of course, if we fail in our mission, it's just a worthless slip of paper. But I must protest. For the rest of my days, I've vowed in my heart to continue serving you both. Please, oh please, do not abandon me. Merlinus. Go get on the boat and pray for our safe return. Please, have faith in us. Wait for us. I understand. Till the end of time, my lord. I will wait for you until the end of time. Please, come back. Safely. Please. Yeah, okay. We're going. Bye. We'll be back. Oh, Lord Ellawood. My. Yeah, this is a familiar battlefield here. Yeah, this battlefield is definitely entrenched in my memory from the difficulty that I had with it back when. The last time this battlefield would have been seen on the channel, though, would have been in the DLC of Fire Emblem Awakening. Nurgle! You're here. But you're too late. The gate is already opened. I will claim the mighty quintessence of dragons. I will become stronger and move ever closer to perfection. You're through here. You've sacrificed people like they were nothing but things. What does power mean if it comes at such a cost? I am who I am. The pain of others I do not feel. The sorrow of others does not touch me. Death feeds me. Death pleases me. I am the essence I consume. You fools will become corpses here, because I wish it to be. Rise and come forth, my servants. Yeah, prepare to face all the big bosses from earlier in the game. This. You seem impressed with my work. Perhaps it's just that you've seen a familiar face. Archelaus, the Black Fang knaves! What have you done, Nurgle? These morphs you see before you. There's a fly! There's like a fruit fly! I've given them the abilities and appearances of the people whose essences I use to craft them. Do you understand? I have power. The power to perform miracles. Oh yes, Hector. Your brother, Uther, Marquis of Ostia, is dead, is he not? How? If you would like, I could make a morph of your brother. It would be well suited for a fragile human such as you. Perhaps a heartless puppet could ease the longing in your soul. Shut up. A heartless puppet? That's you, monster.
What?
To gain power, you think of no one but yourself. You are devoid of emotion, unable to feel pain or suffering. You are the puppet, Nurgle.
Your weakness runs deep in you. You can never understand. The concepts of good and evil are devoid of any meaning, any value. These ideas prevent humans from liberating their own strengths. Such foolishness. The ultimate foolishness of the human race.
Nurgle, after all these years, you have not stopped to reconsider your ideas at all.
The same is true of you, Athos. You must see the truth of it. All living creatures take energy from somewhere. We all use it to create, to change it into something better. The knowledge of Arcadia has shown us the road to the ultimate transformation. And yet, you will not take that road. Why do you reject the obvious? Why am I stumbling on my sentences?
I am not opposed to the quest for power, for greater knowledge. However, that quest must be driven from within. To fuel your quest with the stolen lives of others, this brings not wisdom but abomination.
I remember. I still remember. Those words are unchanged when you first said them ages back. When you and the dragons conspired to bury me. Look at this wound! The wound I took from your magic. It was a mistake. The only person who understood. The man I thought my truest friend. It was a mistake to try and destroy me. It confirmed some things for me. That trust brings betrayal. That friends bring weakness.
You're beyond help, you craven fool. Do you have any idea how Greybeard felt? That must have meant to cut down a former friend. Are you telling me that you don't get it? Hector, what happened in the past? What reasons drive you? None of these matter. I have no compassion or pity for you whatsoever. The crimes you've committed are unforgivable. I care not for your excuses. Prepare yourself, Nurgle. With these hands, I shall end your crimes today.
Interesting. Let's put your skills to the test. Assuming, of course, that you can get past my morphs first.
You gave me the ugly. This is my fight. Stand back, everyone.
Don't be stupid. We're fighting too. We're not just going to leave you alone, Hector. I'm with you. Before, now, and from here on too.
You guys.
Don't forget me, Lord Hector. And Ninian. I'm sure she's here as well.
Nils. Oh, Harm. You too.
Blessed Saint Elimine, please grant us a miracle.
If I die here, so be it.
I won't hold back. This is for all the lovely ladies I've yet to meet. Let this battle be forgotten by history. That is all I ask. I don't want to lose anyone, so I'll fight my strongest.
Oh, I'm burning up!
For the honor of the Pegasus Knights of Ilia, I will annihilate the foe.
Everyone, here we go. Give it your all and beat this knave.
Yeah, doors will open in, I think, a weird order. I think it goes like here, there, and then it's like here, there or something, but you can open them early with unlock. But yeah, I might try to get the S rank weapons. They're dropped by the guys here. I'm not gonna have anyone with S rank and bows, so this is just gonna go in the trash bin, sadly. I'm fairly certain I already have combat animations on. Yeah, it's a weird map. This map screwed me so hard back when. I'm fairly certain I shoved like Oswin or Wallace here. The next door opened and I shoved the other one there, and then the other one started opening and they started flying me. So I think there's only like 3 enemies in each one. But like really strong enemies. Oh, but man, I'm so strong. Okay. But yeah, I do remember this map screwing me back when.
Okay, so they... Even? Even. Doesn't really matter what I target them with. This guy has very slightly lower defenses. Just out of curiosity, what's the Uber Spear like? Hello, Guzma. How's it going today? Welcome to the final boss of Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. Ooh. I have 57% chance to crit. I'm not doubling you. I can double you with the Uber Spear. Yeah, so the Uber Spear can go a long way. But man, that goes to show how tough these actual boss guys are. Did I have a... I do have a Horse Slayer, actually. But they are really tough. You know, evidently here. I have 15 uses of the Uber Spear there. I am immune to the arrows concerning Delphi's shield. They only have bows, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a puzzle. Hold on. Oh, I gotta click back on the game to use this. I might end up using the Laws of Time. We'll see here. Finished work, so you're about to head home right now? Barely anything! Hope you have a good drive home from work. Out of curiosity. Yeah. Interesting. No. Hold on. Do I just Uber Spear this guy? Hold on, I'll see where this gets me. But yeah. Oh, I believe it. Mayhap I'll see myself in February. Alright, let's see it. Crit? Nope. I have a bunch of HP missing because the Uber Spear buffs HP. Alright, I didn't get any, crits, but that's fine. Oh, he's mean. Holy crap. And her speed isn't hurting that much, right? Her speed's 23. Oh my goodness, his speed's 27. Yikes, holy crap. So hold on. Ooh. I mean, 5. Wait, if I do 5, I would need to land this. Hold on, let's try. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure not a single bad thing will happen here. I could trade for the Uber Spear, but I only have so many uses of it, so... Come on, land it! Nice! But yeah, so as you can see, these doodles aren't exactly a walk in the park. But yeah. Oh yeah. Since that's going on there. This thing is going in the bin. I'm so sorry. Reinflesh. Yeah. I mean, it feels pretty bad, but sucks to suck. Yeah, so you can attack with a longbow. Well, as long as I don't move anyone here, you are gonna have to still move into range of my doodles and stuff. Here, let's go for this. Chances are you'll miss me, but we'll see here. Of course you didn't. Of course not. Wait, who is my unlock? Is it Priscilla? Because I can unlock one of these doors. Wow. Okay, I think that this is what I'm going to do here, actually. But yeah. I mean, it depends on which Fire Emblem games we're talking here, but my memory tells me that this map was really hard, and from the doodles that we're facing here thus far, yeah, they do get kind of crazy. And once they start opening on their own and overwhelming you, it can be kind of, awful, which is why I am going to... What? I thought I had the, wait. Oh, it's just range 1 to 2. Oh. Okay. Let's see here. I am gonna have to, heal up Priscilla with someone else. Okay, there's the armored unit ones. So there's a general, and here's Rex Hasta. This Dudo here. And my these are both my S rank and Lance Dudos. So I don't exactly want to get the kill quite yet. I mean, I could move Hector in here with his axes and stuff. They don't have range, do they? Doesn't look like. Experience units only. Yeah, I might just have Hector chill here. Along with our mods. Yeah, okay. And then I think it's one of these ones that opens next. Might be that one, it might be this one. I don't remember. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, apparently that was a thingamabob with that. Okay, there we go. Now she can take another bow hit if she really needs to. It'll be fine. I can just position all my units around here. If that bottom one opens, then, you know, they'll have to start wandering over this way anyway. You know, so it's no big deal. Okay. Let's see what happens here. And that was gonna be the line, right? We're using our mods. There it is! Okay. Just kind of holding our own for now. I can try to give someone the kill that can actually, you know, grab Rex Hasta. Maybe I should give it to Sane because Fiora already has the Uber Spear, you know. Maybe that's what I should do. Oh, what a weirdo. It opens all the way up there next. Okay, and there's a bolting guy. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Ooh. Do it. I can rescue him out of there if I really need to. This guy can't even counter. Amazing. Sweet. That's what we like to see right there. But that's not what we like to see. Alright, so I can probably just assassinate this guy like this. I have the same chance of critting here. Doesn't really matter which I use. Let's just do this. Random crit would be cool. Oh well. Oh well. It's fine. How about this? I'm gonna do this. Oh, maybe I should have done the thing to buff up strength. Like, this is the map to use it. You know, like, what am I saving it for? Wait, but it's only a buff that doesn't refresh my turn, so it's fine anyway. Don't crit, Hector. Darn you. Hector's not using swords, screw it. Here, I'm taking this. Fiora can trade with Hector later. Yeah. Typical Hector, huh? Here, let's see here. Yeah, even if you get crit, that's fine. And this guy doesn't have anything long range, right? Yeah, so you are not going to be able to get bar tray if I shove Lucius in here. So Lucius can clean up this guy, and then this guy's going to have to attack Lucius. Man, I'm handling this so much better than I did back when. I remember struggling so hard on this map. But now I'm like a Fire Emblem pro. That uses so many save states. Oh my god. Now you crit, huh? A Ray of God! They had, in my opinion, one interesting announcement. Well, a couple that I found interesting, but one that was really interesting. Oh, yeah. I guess you have a thing. Interesting. Am I even gonna be using this? Screw it. Well. Yeah, if we go up here, the enemies will eventually have to come to us anyway. It's not a super big deal. Priscilla's fine. That guy can't attack at range, so, you know, it sucks to suck for him. There we go. Pretty neat. All right, let's keep on moving up here. Sure, for fun. Oh, do it again. Oh my God, she actually killed him. Wow. Jeez, you killed him, dude. Wow, okay. Spider chasing section. Like, of Paper Mario? I didn't realize there was a spider chasing section in any Paper Mario. Hold on. Look how far Fortify goes. Holy crap. Everyone gets heals. Bubbles everywhere. Everyone gets a bubble. Wow. Wow. Cool. Let's have some units at the ready over here. I feel like this is gonna unlock next. Actually, bottom left one I feel like is probably gonna unlock next. All right, try it. Whoa. Ow. Well, I have a legendary tome. I'm gonna crit you. Holy beam from God. Hey, Mario game you play when you're like 10 years old and rage crit because it was too stressful for 10-year-old you? Just crit again. Oh, imagine though. Would've been so cool. Was the Spooter super stressful there? Because yeah, I might not have played that one then. Okay, it actually was this one. Wow. Watch, I might not even need to use the Laws of Time. Hold on. Yeah, and then, well, I can trade it off to a bar tray here later. Hold on. 9, huh? I mean, I can get them to come out here. You don't have a bow. This guy has a bow, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So if I position someone here that can counter, you know, that'll probably dodge. Oh, there's a conversation here about Killer Bow. Or I could do Light Brand. Hold on. I can always try it. Nah, Killer Bow, how about? Eliwood, wait. What is it, Lindis? Is it true what Nurgle said? You mean about Lord Uther? Said he's dead. When? Did you know Eliwood? Hector has been acting a little strange, so I forced Oswin to tell me. It was the same illness that took his father. The sickness came on suddenly. It took less than a year for the disease to spread. So, when we met him at Castle Ostia, he was dying. Yet, he didn't want Hector or us to know. He pushed himself too far. I'm sure he was told he shouldn't be moving about. Hector, when did he? Only recently. He figured it out when he saw Lord Uther wasn't at the castle. He pressed Oswin to tell him. After that, so as not to distract us, Hector pretended that nothing was amiss. That's Lindis. Give me my thing. Give me this. Give me my Uber Spear. Oh, I should have... Oh, I was about to say I should have waited to use Fortify until then. I guess I still could have. I was about to say, I should correct myself because it was a different turn, so I couldn't have waited, but I actually have enough of an opening here. Oh, get crit, nerd. Get out of here. Be gone with you. Yeah, Lush is just absolutely wrecking everyone, as he likes to do. Now he's max level. Eh. Pretty cool, though. Oh, crap. 12, 16. I mean, I'm probably not going to be using the aura. I can probably, like, this is probably pretty spicy, right? Ooh. Ooh. But yeah. Guzma, you should not text and drive. There are some things that just because you can does not mean you should. Like, I don't know if it's legal in the States, but it's illegal here because it is very dangerous. So, you know, please don't be putting yours and other people's lives at risk to chat in the stream, you know. But glad that you're home safe. Yeah, so maybe I'll just like... what am I not gonna use? Maybe I'm not using Nosferatu, I don't know. Sure. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. The long range but really close range heal. I can get kind of at the ready over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, how about we do that? But yeah. Well, it's been illegal here in Canada for a long time because of how many accidents it's prone to cause. It's kind of the case. Like, it's a very, very frowned upon thing here because it does put at risk your life and the lives of, you know, anyone around you on the road. What unlocked? I guess it was meant to be this one that I went into early. Well, it's meant to be. Because... I mean, even if it was legal here, I still wouldn't do it. Because any time that you're looking at your phone is time that you're not looking at the road. So, you know, it's illegal for good reason. It's not just like, oh yeah, it's illegal because, you know, anyone that isn't a safe driver not doing it is putting everyone at risk. No, anyone is putting it at risk because all it takes is a few seconds for someone to come in front of you, like someone jaywalking across the street or something like that. A few seconds that you're looking down at a phone and now you've taken someone's life, you know. So it's, not really a good thing to be doing there. Here, let's do this. Even if I crit, then we're fine. Nice. Yeah, it's not a legendary weapon, so it doesn't get the line. Ow, he actually landed that. Holy crap. Ah. Huh. Whoops! No! Dang it! I forgot I didn't have a ranged weapon on right now, so... Dang it! I was trying to do attack there. But yeah. All it takes is one person. Even if there's like a 1% chance of someone dying, would you still do it? Like, you know, as long as there's any chance, it's still something that you shouldn't do. So like, please never write in the chat in the stream while driving. Like, you know, it's something that isn't in stream rules or anything like that because I didn't think that would be important. But I never want to see you writing in chat in my stream while driving because you're putting your life and other people's lives at risk. So, you know, please don't. Huh. Yeah, I can kind of whittle you down this way. Yeah, if I get a crit, then you just die. Because, yeah, it's been, okay, please don't crit. Damn. So cool. Yeah, it's been illegal here for a long time. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm pressing the button and I'm using the devil axe. Imagine if it damaged me back. It would have been really funny, though. Let's face it. Got a Basilicos. Ah, experience units only. I'm getting rid of the halberd. I'm keeping the devil axe. Okay. We can kind of get ready over here now, I think. And we can unlock this next turn, I think, here. Here. And this away we go. Yeah, I may as well play. I was thinking about moving him up there and then just playing for one of these 2 units next turn. But, you know, I can always just use Nils to get someone over a little bit farther anyway. There we go. Yeah, you can just chill here. It's fine. All right, that one. I might just let them come to me now. Like, that's not going to be a long-range thing. Excalibur. And that's a nature one. So maybe I should have Priscilla get the kill. Maybe what I should do. All right, I'm pressing the buttons. I might not even need them at all, you know. But yeah. Yeah, I will certainly try. I hope you have a good rest of the night there, Guzma. Regal Blade. So I should probably have Raven try and get the kill if he can. Interesting. Here, this will be good whittling down. So yeah, I'm gonna try and give Raven that kill. And then I can probably kill from there, right? Probably. Ooh, that could be nice, as long as I don't crit. Ooh, 3 spooky 5 me! Alright, I am using a save state this time because... Hold on. Hold on. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. For a hot second. Yeah, sure. Let's go with this. Time for some 4 blaze. Yeah, the final weapon animations in this game do definitely go hard. Sword Tomahawk. Raven should probably be fine in here. I was just curious there. I just need to land one of these. Just land one. You got it, Raven. You have 2 chances. Nice, you got it first try. Very sweet. Got a Regal Blade. Okay. So... I don't know, just drop that, I guess. Sure. And then... you won't be able to do much damage back, so sure, let's go for it. Now you can crit Hector, now it's fair game. Never mind, now you don't want to. Now you don't feel like it, apparently. Okay. This chapter is nowhere near as hard as I remember. Holy crap. That doesn't have anything ranged, right? He does, actually. I mean, I can now use the Rex Hasta. If I can get him down to 25. Which I probably sure can. Now he doesn't want to be 3 spooky 5 me. Alright, Sane. Try out this cool S rank weapon. Give it a go. 100% chance to land. Kerslamo. Looks like any other lance you've ever used. Man, I'll have been able to get through this without, you know, using save states at all, apart from that crit that I got that I wanted to undo because I wanted to give Raven the thing. Man, I really decked out my team. I know I used the Uber Spear here a little bit, but still. Yeah, doors I've already unlocked that's still playing the unlock sound for. Alright. Wait, what was that? That was just staff, right? Are there any other supports here? With, oh, no chatting there. Oh. What is it? Hector, I'm certain that you did not cry. So I will. This is your share. Tears. Don't say anything. Just for a little while. Let me lean on you. For a little while. Don't. Don't die. Please, you. I know. Is there any... Yeah, there is a thing here. Hector, do you have a minute? It's about my brother, isn't it? Sorry I didn't tell you. It's alright. I understand you better than anyone. More importantly, have you settled things with Oswin? Don't talk to me about him. Hector, you're not angry with Oswin. When Lord Uther was in trouble, you weren't at his side. You're angry with yourself. It's true, isn't it? I was the same way. I couldn't save my father. I couldn't save Ninian. Over and over, I blamed myself. Eliwood. But, you know, that's just a way of running from the sadness of loss. I think you've realized that already. Lord Uther and Oswin, they were thinking of you above all else. You must see that, but if you continue to pretend you do not, you will lose sight of something terribly valuable. That's all I have to say. Okay, I need some heals over there. Is there anyone that might be best for that? I mean, I have a whole bunch of fortifies and stuff everywhere. Bubbles! Bubble party! We don't take kindly to bubble blowing babies around here. All bubble blowing babies will be beaten senseless by every able-bodied patron in the bar. And no bubble blowing baby can resist the Goofy Goober theme song. Okay, I'll just chill out here, I think. Okay, yeah, let's win this turn. So technically, I don't even think I needed the save states this time through, which is amazing character development for me after all the trouble I had with this back when. You know, that's amazing. Gespinst. Du bist jetzt Gespenst. Ich habe keine Idee, was Gespenst meintet, aber... Yeah, see if I care. Barely a tickle. He doesn't drop this, does he? No. You drop Excalibur. Oh, man. Someone poke him? Go, poke him. Poke that guy. Poke. Perfect poke. Fairly certain 25 is how much Sane does. You know. Fairly certain here. Okay. 26, nice. Stab. Very cool. He's a happy boyo now. Alright. And we finally go after everyone's favorite gal, Ursula, here. So, if I were to get the kill here, I'm gonna bring you down to 13 at least. Ah! Guess we're not doing that. I kind of don't want to randomly crit. You don't double me this way. Please don't crit, Eliwood. Nice. Very cool. Whoa! Crazy, man. Please be a cool level up. Not like it matters all that much at this point. Oh, his speed went up. Crazy. You okay, Jesse? Having trouble settling down? Yogi. Joints don't work all that well anymore. Is there anyone that's gonna have almost no chance of critting? Everyone's too good. Let's see here. No. No, I want that though. No! Why do you have to nuke her? Hold on. I'll use save states literally just for getting the stupid weapons that I want here. having to trash too much crap. Okay, just skip it. Okay, there's that. And we go here. We do this. And then we went here. We did the rapier stuff. How did the RNG change? Hold on, deal with this first. How about? Gosh dang it, man. Here, just come on. I'm too good. Wait, maybe Priscilla will just crit. I don't know. No, not the Brave Sword. Of course, the Rune Sword wouldn't do anything. Okay, not the Regal Blade. Silver Axe. Don't crit, Raven. I know you love critting. Dang you! You can crit. You can crit here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Is there anyone that can just, like, poke or something? Whoa, her strength went up. Crazy. I mean, this works, then I can just use nil. Alright. There'll be some ice and stuff. Ice and wind. Opposing elements in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Let's see here. Let's play a little bit of a tune. There you go. Now use the bitter colds of Canada to kill. Like that. And then I'm grabbing Excalibur. Wait, can I even use it? Because I'm fairly sure it's stabs that I have at S. Yeah. I guess I really need to be on Anima Magic if I want to have that at S. Because I didn't realize how that works before. Now I know. And I'll keep it in mind for Fire Emblem 6. When we eventually get to that. Wait. How about I get rid of that there? Okay, just like... Sure, this is fine. This is A-okay. My purple! Oh, it heals, though! Okay, I didn't realize that. The Rune Sword was capable of such a feat. Okay, just get him. Okay. Nice miss. I know that Sane's gonna be like one short in terms of his damage then. That's fine. Oh, I was kind of hoping that Canis was gonna get spooky. He didn't. Whatever, Sane can get it, I guess. I thought you were doubling, Canis. You're going crazy. Yeah, you're max level. I mean, Ellawood could use it a little bit more, maybe. It doesn't really matter at this point, but we can use Durandal and be all cool and stuff. Look at that massive sword. Yeah. Let's do that to be all cool and fancy and stuff. What we'll do. Here we go. Okay, that's actually a pretty good level up. Before the end here. Hold on. Ereshkigal. Oh, you have Eclipse. It's gonna be a little bit annoying, but... Here, I don't think she's gonna care. I don't think Lucius is gonna care. Can I? Hold on. Because when else am I gonna use this? Oh my goodness, I got it. Wow, okay. Okay. Now fight your friends. Now see if you orc hairs. Crit. Nice. Beautiful. Not so much for Berserk, I guess. Oh, yeah. This phase. Honestly, I just remember the doors. Is what I kind of remembered. I don't think Nurgle moves. I'd be wrong on that, though. Oh, this is not going to be an animation for you just taking it. We have Eclipse equipped. Here, let's start getting in here. Oh, yeah, I'm right in your range, but whatever. Yeah, Nurgle is pretty tough. Here, let's chill here. I'll get a whole bunch of my allies in here to do all sorts of stuff. I should have used the bubbles. I have a fortify here, too. I can use the bubbles in a sec. Okay, so maybe I'll dance for Lyn. Maybe. Here, let's just do this. Let's give that a go. Nurgle can't attack at 3 range, can he? Can I start taking some pot shots? Okay, well. I think it's time for a bubble party. For all the bubble blowing babies in a 5-mile radius. Doesn't heal her too, does it? Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Nurgle's gonna move. I'd be wrong on that though. A lot of damage if it actually lands. Good thing it's not super likely to land. Yeah, so maybe I'll just commit to Nurgle then. That's what I might just do. But maybe not this turn, because I'd love to get my lords in there and see what they have to say to him. You know. Just the 1 to 2 range there. Here, do this. I'm gonna get positioned around him. I do not have a range thing with Sane. I mean, I can go here, wreck this guy. I hope it lands to do 0 damage. But alas, that's fine. All right, use your cool spear, Sane. Use the cool one. Okay. I don't really need a farm EXP at this point or anything. But yeah, I want to get everyone in here because I want to see all the unique dialogue, at least, with like the lords going up against him. I would like to see it. As I'm close enough that it'll show us still relatively close by here. Just a tile away. Alright. Imagine Bartra ends up getting the kill. Maybe I should shove him in there with a Devil Axe. It would be funny, let's face it. I wonder if there's unique dialogue with Nil. It's not like Nil can attack him. Nil could only be attacked. I mean, I can try. Funsies. To see if there is something. Here, you know what? I will. Oh, let's see here. I'm just gonna save state and I'm gonna end here. And I'm just gonna see if there's some dialogue. Just because I'm curious. Be prepared. You are to be witness to a power that overwhelms all. Okay, he doesn't have anything for Nil in that case. Okay, I just wanted to know for the sake of science. Nils! It was for science. I just wanted to know. I'm honestly surprised that there isn't where he's like, the other one after your sibling died. Evil noises. Let's see here, but there's definitely gonna be ones for our main lords here. True, he hits so dang hard. At least he doesn't have any chance of critting. Little girl from Sake. You do well to One such as you is no match for me. The nomads of the plains do not abandon their fellow tribespeople. Eliwood and Hector are my dear friends. Their sorrow is my sorrow. Their anger is my anger. Pah. Nurgle, in my friends' names, I will cut you down. Is a pretty cool animation, let's face it. Yeah, he's pretty strong. If only I got more points in strength. Would have been cool to see a crit. Alright, let's see here. Oh, twice! Well, I want to see the dialogue. So hold on, just for the sake of seeing the dialogue. So we get the full story here. Did you know, Eliwood, what happened to your friend Hector? What he was thinking as he fought by your side? It's a pity. If only he had been free to return to Ostia. I know that I've caused much pain for my friends, but that is why I will not lose here today. Well, unless a 99 misses. Because yeah, your speed is not very good, Eliwood. You know, I just want to see the dialogue. Father, please forgive me. It was for science. Hold on. I'm sure Athos would have unique dialogue as well. Like, let's see here. Ugh. Athos. Take a good look at me. That's my tremendous power. Already, words are useless. As an old friend, I will fulfill my duty. Get the 2% crit, imagine. But imagine, though. So many flames. Well, this is fine, we can take it. I would love Hector to kill the final blow to mark the final blow. I mean, I can have him attack twice thanks to nil. So if I just whittle him down a smidge more here. Okay, low chance I crit here. Be prepared, you're about to be witness to a power that overwhelms all! Evil noises. Look at this! Pocket black holes everywhere! They will absorb all your bubbles, you bubble-blowing babies! Okay. Now I think we can just kind of get Hector in here with our mods. Yup. Here it is. Nurgle. I cannot understand you, Hector of Ostia. Why would you do all of this for Eliwood? Is this miserable thing called friendship worth dying for? I don't expect you to understand. You've forgotten what it means to be human. Nurgle, my connection to you. It's over. I'm finishing everything up right here. Crit him! Oh! Yeah! That is what we like to see. Why must I lose? For power, I must be stronger. Why did I want power? Tessence? Don't understand, but not like this. I will not die like this. My last breath, tremble and despair. Watch, I'm gonna get a +1 in HP. Okay, well, more than just that then. Nils, what is it? I don't know. Why am I crying? Don't worry, you've been through a lot. It's just relief. You've done well, haven't you? Everything's okay. The world's been saved. And I know that Ninian is happy too.
What was that?
What on earth? What happened? It can't be.
Yeah, I remember this.
Ah! Are those dragons? Nurgle's final warning. This is what he meant.
What a calamity. If dragons return to this world, the continent will be ash in less than a month. I'll stop this. I'll show you.
So these are dragons.
Look at the size of them. I've got a bad feeling about this. My legs are trembling just standing here.
There are 3 of them. I don't know if we can do this. We need some kind of help.
Do what I can. I'll halt the dragons. Strike there. So powerful. Can they be stopped?
Lord Athos, flee! The dragons are getting closer.
If we can't stop them here, we are lost.
Bramimond!
Operations took time. Okay, I require everyone's strength. Gather here the legendary power.
Ah, this light.
What is it?
Look, there.
Bring her back. Let the dragon girl's soul be restored.
Ninian! Ah, Ninian. Where am I? Girl with the exalted blood of dragons. Use that power to appease them. Ah, it's not possible. Use my power in this world. Do you not feel it? Your power returning. What? Ah, yes. I will try. That's enough. I'm sorry. This is not your fault. I'm sorry. No. No more. Ninian! It's okay. She only fainted. Thank goodness. Ninian. One dragon still remains. Leave the girl to me. I shall tend to her.
Chosen ones, you must stop the final dragon. You must save us all.
Yeah, so because of that scene at the end, the most canon option for a support that you can go with Ellawood is Ninian, in which case, you know, Roy is then the son of a dragon, essentially. But I knew that I could use all the help that I could get in Hector hard mode, so I was like, okay, I should probably have him build up support with, like, some other unit of mine here, you know. Is what I should probably do. Can I not select over to Fiora? I guess it just selects over to support in general. So it's like, let's go with the support that'll actually help me gameplay-wise, because I know I won't have Ninian towards the end, you know? So I went with Fiora. But if you want to be, like, canonical, could say that he went with Ninian instead. I don't know if it's actually what's canon. You know, it's kind of implied, but you know, you never really know who Roy's mother is in Fire Emblem 6, but you know, there are some hints around. Dragon, the true final boss. Strength 19 plus 10, skill 26 plus 10, speed 16, so at least you're not gonna be doubling anyone. Luck 24, defense 20 plus 20, res 30 plus 10, constitution 25, movement 8. So I'm fairly certain pretty much everything but the legendary weapons is gonna be doing like next to no damage. Like I can do a little smidge here then. Yeah, look at pretty much anything else. 4 blaze compared to any of these. Like, okay, let's see here. Like, I might be able to do some damage with Rex Hasta, but, you know, not exactly a whole lot here. Like, the dragon is really strong. It's kind of the case, you know. Yeah. This Canis can get doubled. Canis can actually do some good damage here with Luna. Luna's pretty strong. Alright, let's see here. You barely gotta be doing anything, but let's get our main 3 in first here. Welcome to the true final boss of Fire Emblem 7. Get a crit. Ah, well. And I guess you're not gonna be missing. Oh well, unfortunate no crit there. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I can go all the way behind. I mean, I guess there's some options here where I don't get doubled, but like... Okay, Ellawood's not doing anything. Go chill out on the bench, Ellawood. Yeah. Kind of what I figured, so you're gonna be on staff duty here. You have a fortify in your inventory, right? I used it before, yeah. So we can use bubbles and stuff. Okay, let's see here. I wonder if I can do damage with the Uber Spear. Athos is just gonna live with 1 HP. The developers probably designed it that way so you can actually do damage with Athos, but like, yikes. Alright, 4 blaze. How much we can do to him. Still not in the range where we see his HP. I mean, yeah, it shows 94 there, so you can see it there anyway. Even with the Uber Spear, I do nothing. Amazing. Alright, let's see here. It's no legendary weapon, but Luna can definitely hit pretty hard in gaining your defenses. Thank goodness we have Canis here. Okay. Be spooky. Oh, he's spooky! Wasn't actually expecting him to be spooky. Ooh, beautiful. I might just be able to win this turn. I might not even need to use bubbles. Might not even need to. Hold on. How much can Hector do here? Okay, where's Nils? Way too far. Darn you, developers. Alright, it's not like I'm critting here. But yeah. Wow, promotion to my channel? Oh man, that sounds amazing. I'm so glad that you came here with this offer, but I'm gonna have to consider it another time. Man, that's such a cool, incredible opportunity. I'm so glad someone came here and made that offer to me. Like, I never thought I'd get such an amazing opportunity. Even the quality's guaranteed. That's so amazing. But do you know what else the quality is guaranteed on? Dat axe. It's time to finish this. There it is. Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade. Hector hard mode has been conquered. That right there is the video game. Ellawood, are you all right? Yes. Thanks to you, Hector. I If it weren't for... This is auto-advancing. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. Oh, now I press A. I truly thank you. I can't make the ticks go any faster by pressing the button. Nitty, I don't need your thanks. Friends help friends. Well done, brave successor to Roland. It's finally over. Finally. Everything is... Greybeard? Looks like I've exhausted my strength. I'll die before you, friend. I may well follow you soon. For now, I will sleep again. Elowood, Hector, Lynn. I've lived a long, long time, but now I'm done. Do not grieve. Soon, I will be with long-absent friends. I have no regrets. Lord Athos! Now, my friends, my family, let me give you a parting gift. As I lay dying, I see many things. I see the future. Oh, why? Why is this not now? Neither Bramamon nor I will be here to help a land in need. What do you see? An evil star rises and burn. All of Alib will be once again awash in blood. But do not fear. Once again, the Sia brings hope. Children of fire. Everything. Lord Athos, even at the end, thought of us. Greybeard. Look, both of you. Lord Athos. It's almost as though he's smiling. This world will once again be enveloped by darkness. But at the end, a saving light shall rise. Ninian! Lord Elowood. Good to see you, Ninian. Lord Elowood, I worried you. I wish to apologize. What do you mean? I was cause for all of this. It was my weakness that invited this tragedy. Ninian? Here on Alib, we're nurtured for ages in the land of our birth. Even after humans invaded and drove us out. Not a day passed that I did not think of it. Memories of my mother and my father, my home. I yearned to see it once again, our homeland. Those children, fire dragons, they were like me. We knew that it was forbidden, and yet we answered Nurgle's call and opened the gate. Didn't intend to stay long, just to see home one last time. But Nurgle captured us and it led to this. We humans took control of the continent like it was our right. Never considered who or what we drove away. Ninian, Nils, the blame for this was never yours alone. While we can claim ignorance, we still bear some responsibility.
Lord Elowood, do you truly believe that?
I do. If my father were here, he would say the same thing. Slow auto advanced text. Let's work together and think about the future. If the entire continent were made a place where dragons and humans could live together, like the hidden city Lord Athos spoke of, Arcadia. What a wonderful world that would be. But that's certainly something that won't happen for a long, long time. So we can't stay here. The gate is still open. If it remains so, other dragons will certainly pass through. Before that happens, we must return to our world. We must regain our power and seal the gate from that side. Are you saying I'll never see you again? That can't be! Lord Elowood, I am truly blessed that I have had the chance to meet you. Please, don't forget me. Ninian! Come, Nils, let us go. We must return to our world. Lord Elowood, Lord Hector, Lady Lynn, thank you. My opinion of humans has changed since meeting all of you. There are humans in the world we're returning to, too. Finding a way to live together may be hard, but we're going to try. Okay, good luck. I'll miss you. Take care, both of you. Thank you. Be well, everyone. We did it, we beat the game. Oh, daybreak. Beautiful, isn't it? Start of another day. Let's go home. To Lycia. Oh, I guess that happens if you support those two? Maybe? I mean, why would I save here? I guess it's just to see the credits. I'm not saving. 1 year later. I'm not making the mistake that I did in my Blue Lions playthrough here. Screw that. Oh, Harm. You made it. Come, relax. What? Came to say goodbye. I haven't seen you in so long. And you're leaving. Yeah, I have new adventures to get to. Oh, you heard too. Now that word of my brother's death has spread, the throne can't be left empty forever. I'll just wait for the text to play out a little bit because I can't speed it up at all. Being the leader of all Lycia doesn't really suit me. My brother let me play around for quite a while. If I don't grow up soon, my brother won't be able to rest. Burdens Uther carried as Marquis Ostia. His feelings for the citizenry of Ostia and all of Lycia. I'll succeed him at everything. Easy to say, but I'm sure it's going to be difficult. Hector. Well, if it isn't Harm, it's been a long time. But Harm's not here for long, though. Some friend, eh? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, yes, Harm. We have a favor to ask of you. Play the next game, Fire Emblem 6. It's a little bit premature, but... would you be our first child's godparent? What? You are the patron to our romance after all. Oh yeah, because I supported you too in this playthrough. Name? I've already decided on that. We're going to name him Uther, after my brother. I beg your pardon. What if it's a girl? It's my child. It will be a boy. We'll pit him against Eliwood's son to see who's the strongest. This is all he ever talks about. Honestly, I don't know if he'll ever grow up. So, Harm, if it is a girl, then the name will be Lilina. Are you leaving? Say, Harm, do you remember Athos's final words? I sealed our mods away, like it used to be, but I can still feel its power pulsing inside me. War is coming. Someday. Terrible war. When that day comes, I want you to be there when that day comes. I want you to guide my children and me. We'll meet again. I'm sure of it. Yeah, so normally we would see stuff ending with Eliwood. Executive producer Toru Wata, may he rest in peace. What a legendary person he was. Yeah, normally we would see ending with Eliwood, and that's what I'm used to seeing. And I guess by us supporting Hector and Lyn, we get those scenes there. Honestly, I just knew that, like, the lords could support one another, so I was like, hey, let's build some supports among one another, and let's try to get, like, Hector and Lyn to A. And apparently that's what happens. We got, like, some unique dialogue throughout the game, and we got some unique stuff at the end. So, yeah, I guess once we go to Fire Emblem 6, I guess Lyn will be our canonical mother for Lilina in that case, and Fiora will be our canonical mother for Roy. But, yeah, well, depending on how we want to classify canonical here. If you did support Eliwood and Ninian to A, it would be discussed that apparently Ninian wouldn't be able to survive for very long within that world without, like, her full power. She still is lacking a lot of her power. She'd be able to live out, like, the full rest of her days if she went back to her world. But if you A, support both of them, she really wants to stay with Eliwood. So she's like, I want to stay with you anyway. Nils goes back home. Ninian stays with Eliwood, and, you know, they have a kid named Roy. And, you know, I guess Ninian passes away at a semi-young age there, and then, you know, Roy is a kid of dragons then. But I wanted the thing that helped me the most in gameplay. Oh boy, we are gonna see the turn count. 182. Yeah, that was the one where I grinded Nils, right? Oh my goodness. Man, look at this low turn count that we got during this playthrough. Man, I'm so good at Fire Emblem. Wait, what happened in Night of Farewells? Oh, wait, I think I remember. Turns 1,922. We got it under 2,000 turns. Amazing. Wow, it was so good. Matthew continued his service as a spy for House Ostia. The memory of his beloved Lila lingers on in his heart. Oswin, impregnable knight. Oswin served as a vassal to Marquis Ostia. His was a calm, reasonable voice in Lycia's ruling government. Sarah, outspoken cleric. Sarah returned to Ostia. She spent much time tending to her own affairs, but lately, she has begun to enjoy her free time. So I guess we're gonna see every character's ending because I got every recruit here. Marcus, Knight of Faerie. Marcus returned to Faerie with Eliwood, and, as the head of the Knights of Faerie, dedicated his life to training young squires. Train the next generation here. Lowen, swift knight. Lowen replaced Marcus as the most famed knight in all Faerie. His endless zeal served Faerie well throughout his life. His return, what salesperson came by selling vacuums? What? Nobody. We beat the game. It's the character endings now. Rebecca, a wildflower. Rebecca returned to her father, then pledged service to House Faerie. She has formed a family, and yet she still serves Faerie well. Dorcas! Dorcas had poison put in his mutton. Dorcas, serene warrior. Dorcas returned to Faerie and used the money he earned to buy medicine for Natalie, his wife. She recovers rapidly, but Dorcas maybe not so much. Bartray, wild axe fighter. Bartray continued his quest from country to country. Rumors say that he fell in love with his own mortal enemy. When I saw like his own and this text slowly going by, at first I imagined that was gonna say like image or something like that for a second there. Guy, mountain swordsman. He's the guy. Guy continued in his quest to be the finest swordsman in all of Sake. His form was so perfected that all called him the Saint of Swords, I think that said. Urk, studious mage. Well, then you gotta go back and watch the whole thing. Urk returned to Etruria and was asked to succeed the retiring Lord Pent. He refused and devoted his life to the study of magic. Priscilla, secluded princess. Priscilla returned to Etruria's Count Caerleon, I don't know. Her adopted parents met her not with harsh rebukes, but with tears of joy. Florina, Pegasus Knight. After Lyn abdicated rule of Caelin, Florina returned to Ilia. She remained shy, but this shyness has made her strong within. So, does Lyn keep chilling in Caelin, I guess, if you, don't support her with Hector / Elwood? I don't remember, it's been too many years. Kent, the Crimson Shield. After Caelin was placed under Ostian rule, Kent became its steward. His dedication earned him the love of his people. He was only in one battle ever, and then look at Sane, the Green Lance. When Ostia took over the rule of Caelin, Sane resigned and became an independent knight. His love of women is unchanged. Yeah, I definitely use Sane a whole lot more than Kent. I mean, I thought it was pretty even how much I used the two of them. Will, archer without equal. Will remained a knight of Caelin even after Ostia took over. He became the commander of Ostia's Caelin Archer Division. So we're getting some paired endings now. Raven, Sublime Mercenary, and Lucius the Light, the ones that I support with one another, I guess. After the conflict, Raven revealed his past to Hector. Hector offered to rebuild Raven's home, but Raven refused. He and Lucius travel as mercenaries, but Lucius is pleased to see his friend's heart has been eased. So I guess this is gonna be with all the A supports that I got with one another, maybe? Oh, but I guess Bartray was on his own here, and Canis is on his own. I know I got them to A, I'm fairly certain. Canis, Seeker of Wisdom. Canis returned to his family in Ilia. Some years later, he and his wife died trying to stop a snowstorm. His child was raised by his old mother. That's sad. Dart, Badon's commando. He was in 2 battles and he lost one. What does that mean that they lost one? Because wouldn't that mean that they die? Dart took a grave wound protecting Fargus in a skirmish. That was the one he lost then. He vanished at sea, but rumors claim he might be in Faerie. Legault, the Hurricane. After the battle, Legault traveled the lands looking for Black Fang refugees. He helped them to ease the pain of his own loss. Nils, Child of Destiny, and Ninian, Child of Destiny. Wow, Nils was in a whole lot more conflicts, holy crap. After these wait, wasn't Ninian in a whole lot? I used her to face shield so much stuff, whatever. After these dragons can bid farewell to the land of their birth, they return to their new world. Meeting Elwood warmed the hearts of these ice dragons with the hope that man and dragon could live in peace. So yeah, they were born within the world that the game took place in, not the other one that they went to. So, Isadora, Escort of Faerie. As a knight of the Imperial Guard, Isadora served as guard to Lady Eleonora. She continued to study to be a lady up until she wed. And I'll discuss that with Ninian and Nils in a hot second here when we're not reading, like, character endings and stuff. Keith, Wandering Knight. Keith moved to Ilia and became a mercenary knight of some fame. He fought not for country, but for people in need. Good on him. Wrath, Wolf of Sake. Wrath returned to his tribe in Sake. His deeds earned him warm greetings from his father, the famed Silver Wolf. I don't believe you see him or Lyn in Fire Emblem 6. Like, Lyn was created as of this game. But there is a character that a lot of people believe is probably Wrath and Lyn's kid in Fire Emblem 6. Hawkeye, Desert Guardian.
Hawkeye returned to Nevada and lived peacefully in Arcadia with his daughter, whom he trains to be guardian of the desert. Geitz, the Wanderer. Geitz resumed his aimless wandering. He still searches for a land that he can finally call his own. So that could have been Wallace here instead. So we can't actually recruit every character in the game. There's a couple instances where you have to choose like one or the other. Or just be given one or the other depending on our route before that point. Farina, the Great Wing. Farina far surpassed her duties as commander of the Pegasus Knights of Ilia. Her skill earned her fame as well as a high price, that said, as well as high prices. Did all that just for that character ending. I spent 20k on her just to get that so we'd recruit everyone. Pent, Mage General, and Louise, Lady of Violet. When Athos died, Pent took over his research. To focus on his studies, Pent resigned as Mage General of Etruria. This action set the palace in uproar, but Pent and Louise endured. Harkin, Troubled Warrior. Yeah, I never got this guy back in the day. Harkin worked closely with Marcus to rebuild the Knights of Faerie. They are slowly rebuilding their strength and prestige. I never even used them. Nino, Pious Mage. At Eliwood's invitation, she started a quiet life in a small village in Faerie. She plans to return to Bern to visit a certain cemetery. Then Jafar next. Yeah, Jafar, Angel of Death. Jafar vanished in the final moments of the last battle. He still avoids the bounty hunters who seek out the famed Angel of Death. Vida, Flying Fang. Some rumors say that Vida died at the hands of Bern forces. Others say she now serves Bern's Prince Zephiel. So what is the truth? Renault, Burden Bishop. We caught this guy like right at the end out of nowhere. No one knew the old him. No one knows what became of him. He vanished as though he never existed. So who are you? Archsage Athos. Athos died in a foreign land. Those who saw his face said that he seemed as though he had at last found true peace. Maybe we'll see some more of Renault in Fire Emblem 6. Fire Emblem 6 takes place a decent bit after Fire Emblem 7. And Renault already seems kind of old, but I mean... Merlinus, Cheery Merchant. Merlinus opened a shop in Ostia, but it was forced to close. He plans on reopening with some aid from Lord Eliwood himself. Yeah, and this paired ending here. That would have been Ninian and Eliwood if I went with the canonical thing, but I wanted the optimal gameplay thing. Eliwood, Light of Lycia, and Fiora, Wingborn Warrior. Eliwood and Fiora were wed after the conflict. A group of Lycian nobles protested that she was a mercenary, but none could sunder their bond of love. They have a son named Roy, who will become a great hero. Yeah, who's the son of a Pegasus Knight and not a dragon in this playthrough. Hector, General of Ostia, and Lynn, Noblewoman of Sake. Hector succeeded his brother as the Marquis of Ostia, but the pain of his brother's death weighed heavily on him. His beloved Lynn gave him comfort and helped him become an enlightened leader. Had exactly 100 victories there, apparently. Famed genius. The tactician vanished after the final battle. Bern, Lycia, and Etruria all sought those famed skills, but none ever found the tactician. I was actually pretty impressed with myself that I didn't need to use any save states in the final battle, apart from just like undoing crits to get the weapons I wanted, because I was too strong. You know. Thanks for coming, Eliwood. Hector, a long time no see. First time since my brother's funeral. 15 years now. And look at us. We've both grown older, haven't we? You just see. Uh-huh. Time certainly does speed right by. My father's disappearance, his death, the fight with Nurgle, those fire dragons. Memories are so vivid. It might have happened yesterday. Nurgle, a Blackheart he was. I've had enough of battles like that. Is that your son over there? I've been wanting to introduce you, but there's been no chance. Roy, come here. Did you need something, Father? Say hello to Marquis Ostia. Yes, sir. A pleasure to meet you,
Lord Hector. My name is Roy.
Roy, is it? Nice to meet you, lad. Well, I guess that means I should introduce my daughter then. Lelina. What? Are you being shy? You don't have to be nervous. This is your father's old friend. And his son. Hello, Lelina. This is Roy. He's the same age as you.
Nice to meet you. Lelina? Let's be friends. We can play over there.
It's okay. Go on.
Ah.
What a cute child. Good thing she took after her mother. What? She looks just like me. Doesn't she? You're a sarcastic one, Marquis Ostia. Come on. Now you're the one putting on airs. Marquis Ferre. The only thing older about you is your appearance. Don't tell me you still behave like that even now. I hate this auto-scrolling, now that you're the Marquis. I'm always on top of my duties as Marquis. When I'm around you, I want to relax, so please. Hector. By the way, I heard that the King of Bern died. It was fairly sudden, too. I can't be certain, but according to one of our spies, he was killed in an assassination attempt on Prince Zephyr. Prince? I trust he was unharmed. It's a strange tale. At first, I'd heard that the prince was killed. Then, new information came 3 days later, saying that it was the king who had died. You remember Archsage Athos's prediction? Something happening in Bern. I don't know.
Father, can I show Roy my pony?
Yes, go ahead. Be careful.
Okay.
Looks like Roy's about to show her something is what it actually looks like. For the sake of our children's futures, I'll stop anything that may happen. I'll sacrifice my life to make it so. Once again, Lucia brings hope. That turns out to be wrong. No, it must happen. Bern Keep. For what reason have you awakened a demon dragon? Who are you? Evil. Well, that's a tale for another day. Is this an end screen that I don't remember from back when? That I unlocked by doing all the paralogs or some such? But yeah, hello, Sync Throne, yeah. We've now beaten Hector hard mode. So, Ninian and Nils were originally born in the world that the game takes place in. And the paralogs that we did, the one where there was like the two kids that were abandoned there, but then
like some other Dudo appeared. I believe that it was the Morph Dudo that I'm forgetting the name of right now, the Magic Seal Dudo. Like, it showed Nurgle in one scene along with the kiddos, and then, like, Magic Seal Guy appeared. So I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't something with Nurgle, maybe it's something with Magic Seal Guy, and it just looked kind of like Nurgle. But I read up a little bit on it, like, between some of my... Kishuna, his name. Yeah. I thought that it was a thing with Kishuna. But out of curiosity, I looked up some stuff with some of the paralogs. Like, what did I not realize here that I should have realized? Now, apparently, doing all the paralogs gives the information that implies that Nurgle might have actually been Ninian and Nils' father, potentially. That apparently within Arcadia, his wife was a dragon. I forget what it was mentioned that her name was. And when I was reading up on it, apparently, like, Nurgle's death text changes if you, do different things, and I saw that his death text was a slightly expanded one of what it normally is. Like, there's 3 different versions, and in one of them he says the name, but I don't think he did for me. Hold on. Let me click on it here. Final chapter light in this wiki. Let's go over to, hold on. I guess it wouldn't be in trivia. Hold on. Where did I read up on the, thingamabob? Let's see here. For the purpose of support building, part 1 and part 2 of Light Retreat as separate chapters. It's possible to get 2 supports between the same characters if players are patient enough. Interesting. I could have sworn I saw a thing for Nurgle's different death text. A couple secret scenes at endgame, but only if you play 19XX, which almost nobody sees. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't recognize this from back when. But I assume that maybe that's Nurgle and, the dragon there. Hold on. Let me look it up. Fire Emblem maybe I just look it up on the wiki here, and it'll probably be on his thing. That's probably what I saw it on, was the wiki here. It's Fire Emblem fandom wiki. And if I scroll on down here, yeah, death quotes. So his default death quote is, why must I lose? God, not like this. I will not die like this. With my last breath, tremble in despair. And then Nurgle has a modified death quote. If 2 Kishuna chapters are visited and Kishuna is defeated, why must I lose more power? I must be stronger. Why did I want power? God, not like this. I will not die like this with my last breath tremble. I'm pretty sure that's the one that we got. Apparently the final one, Nurgle's modified death quote, if all Kishuna chapters visited with Kishuna slain. I did visit all Kishuna chapters, and I did kill him. But, hold on, wait. Yeah, I missed a little smidge here. I don't know why I didn't get it then. You have to kill Kishuna in Genesis to get some extra text from Nurgle at the end. But that implies you kill Kishuna, which, good luck with that. Oh. Well, maybe I didn't in Genesis then. Maybe that's all it was. Like, I figured with this thing about with Kishuna slain would just be, like, killing Kishuna at, like, the final, the Hector exclusive paralog there, like, right before the final map is what I figured. But maybe I needed to kill him during Genesis too. So apparently, if, I had done all the things right, which apparently I slightly missed. Yeah, it must have been that then, if I didn't get that. Because I was confused when I got to that death quote. I was like, wait, didn't I read up that it was supposed to be something else? His true, like, full canon death quote is supposed to be, why must I lose more power? I must be stronger. Why did I want power? Near, don't understand, but not like this. I will not die like this. With my last breath, tremble and despair. So, basically the same, but he says Aenir, which is implied to be the mother of Ninian and Nils, and he's implied to be the father that, you know, completely forgot that he was even that after he got, like, corrupted and all evil and stuff. Killing Kishuna in Genesis extremely hard, pretty much have to rig a crit on him to one-shot him. Yeah, and I guess I must not have then, because, you know, if I had known that I needed to, then I absolutely would have. And my memory tells me I don't know whether I did or not, but considering I didn't have that actual final death quote where he says Aenir, then, like, sucks to suck, but I'm not going back. And so he leaves immediately when you attack him, don't even get a full turn to attack him, like in chapter 19. And the only way to get this extra one word in his death quote, or one name, I guess, of Aenir, is to do that, which almost nobody's gonna be able to do. That's so dumb. That's so silly. Wait, engage defeat quote. Why must I lose? I need more power. Wait, when did Nurgle appear in Fire Emblem Engage? What? Yeah, what now? Hold on. Yeah, what? Engage. It only shows the death quote here. I have no idea what the heck it means then. But yeah, I don't know. That seems a little bit silly, doesn't it? Well, we got the 99% playthrough then, I guess. My goodness gracious. Well, during the credits is usually when I get my full review of a game. Let's listen to, how about not this? Let's listen to the premium range stuff that we'll do. Going to 19XX is really annoying in the first place. Yeah, I did have to pay very close attention to make sure I got like all paralogs and all recruits during this playthrough. But I got it. I got every paralog, I got every recruit. I guess I didn't get the modified death quote by doing that with Genesis, so I guess I have the 99%. Almost 100%. Yeah, I just use auto hotkey for that. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that most players aren't going to be doing, so it is kind of annoying. And the kind of thing that I didn't do back when. Let's see here. Fire Emblem Premium Arrange. Let's listen to some of this, because this stuff slaps. Let's see here. Premium Range albums 1 and 2. And then I can mute MGBA. Let's listen to Companions from Blazing Blade, the Premium Range. It's so good. And hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. It's such a slapper here. But yeah, so Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. My review of it here. Once again, this was my first Fire Emblem game that I ever played. So, you know, I do still honestly really like the game. It does hold a very special place in my heart. I have a lot of nostalgia with this game. It is a real special one to me. I had a very different experience with it this time than I did back then. You know, I mean, back then I did appreciate having the Lin mode to help ease me into things and learn how the heck the video game even worked and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's like, it's okay, I guess. You know, maybe not super necessary, but, you know, I get it when this was the first international one and they, Now, next is gonna be, Fate's Conquest, because I've been meaning to do that for, like, 2 years now, 3 years now, and it keeps on getting delayed because new stuff keeps on coming out, is the case. So, you know, I did Birthright back in 2020, and that's it. Only Birthright. I said I was gonna do Conquest in 2021. I didn't get the chance to. And then, 2022, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I didn't get the chance to, because, you know, Three Hopes released. And then I was busy with that. Then I was like, okay, 2023, I'm finally gonna do it. And then Engage released. And then I was busy with Engage for a while. And then this was coming to Switch Online, so I was like, okay, now I want to do this. But next one is definitely Fate's Conquest. And then maybe I'll go back and do FE6 after that. Because I do want FE6 to be one of the next ones relatively up in my queue of Fire Emblem stuff, since we've done 7 and now we should do 6. I've never actually played 6. Like, I've played through 7 before, but I never played 6. I do kind of want to see how the story continues with, like, Roy and Lelina and stuff with Burn, you know, and I'll be going into it blind. So I'll probably do Conquest, then FE6, and then probably Fate's Revelations. You know, probably. That's my current plan in my head. You know, as long as... Well, I guess I could also throw another playthrough of Three Hopes in there, but I don't know. I might be kind of done with Three Hopes. I don't know. But I've been looking forward to Conquest for so long, so I'm doing Conquest next. But yeah, it's more challenging. The 7 enemies are stronger on average. And that's what I've heard. I've also heard that hit rates are ass in FE6. Is that you really struggle to hit things, and Roy especially. I don't know how true that is. I'll find out when we get there. But we shall see here. Anyway, yeah, I very much appreciated, like, the Lin mode back when. Best thing you could do with Revelations is skip it. I mean, I have very mixed feelings about Revelations. There's a lot of things I love about Fire Emblem Fates. The best one is definitely Conquest. Like, no doubt about that. I love Fate's Conquest, Lunatic Classic. Chef's kiss right there. Revelations is fun to, like, build every unit and stuff and have access to almost everyone. There's a couple exclusive units of Birthright and Conquest, but not many. You know, it's fun to build everyone and have, like, my one complete file. But, you know, story-wise and level-wise, it's just so much of why. You know, Revelations. Like, level design and gameplay is definitely the best in Conquest. And story. Story and gameplay is best in Conquest. No doubt about that. Revelations is... I'll have a lot of fun with Revelations still. I can't wait until we get to like snow shoveling and stuff. Anyway, I'm trying to get my review of Blazing Blade here. I keep on getting distracted. I do love this game. You know, it is really great, but you know, playing it back when, I do kind of wish that as my first Fire Emblem game, I knew that I should build my units a little bit better. Because like I said, when I played this game as like my first FE game, when I got to that final level, I could not beat it no matter how many save states I used. I was, you know, using the laws of time all over the place, and I could not beat it. I put a lot of EXP into Oswin and Wallace because I thought the generals were like the most OP units in the game back then. Foolish me. My other units didn't get a whole lot of experience, and where they did, it was distributed across everybody. I did not build any units. I did not funnel EXP into anybody. So all my units were left like really weak, especially when I needed to use like all my lords there at the end. And I kind of screwed myself. So I would say that I do wish that there was some sort of system in there that says like, hey, you should be using them and, you know, keep this in mind. But I don't know how they do it. Like, so maybe I can't make that criticism if I don't know exactly how to do it. Like, maybe just have, like, in some of the cutscenes, say, like, hey, Harm, as our tactician, you should think carefully about what units you want to, like, put EXP into, you know? Yeah. Like, it's so easy to gravitate towards that. Like, they'll take almost no damage from physical attacks when there's mostly physical attackers in the game. Like, there's definitely some maps that have way more mages than physical attackers, but not a whole lot. I'm getting warm. I gotta take this stuff off. So I thought generals were so dang OP. So, you know, they kind of got all my attention, and my other units kind of suffered. And I didn't even use a general in this playthrough. Well, I guess I technically promoted Oswin, and I used him like once as a general. But, you know, now I've been, what's the term? I was gonna say enlightened, but not that. I've been rehabilitated. I've been given an intervention. I now know better. You know? Oh, look how evil he is. But yeah, so I made that mistake and I kind of screwed myself. And then at the end, you know, it felt kind of really bad, the fact that I was stuck there and I literally could not make it past. Like, I couldn't go back and get some more levels. Like, maybe I should have been saving across different slots as well so I could go back, but I didn't think it would be necessary. I was able to get through all the maps before, and I thought that the final battle would be no different, and I couldn't. So, definitely the biggest case of frustration that I felt with Fire Emblem 7 was playing it on emulator on my phone in junior high school when I couldn't beat that final map. Nowadays, playing Hector hard mode, I fully expected that final map to be like so insanely hard, like because of what my memories told me. But man, the only case where I needed to use save states was to prevent my allies from critting, just because I wanted to like get the weapons on particular units. Like I wanted particular units to kill there. So like not once did I actually need to use a save state there because of like something awful that happened. It was just because my allies were too good. They were too strong. Which is like, wow, that is so different from my memories there, because I'm so much more experienced at playing Fire Emblem nowadays. I actually built up units. I had a very minor spreadsheet. I didn't go as ham as like some of my Fire Emblem spreadsheets I made. I just made ones to plan out like what characters I was going to be using and what supports I was going to be giving, and I grinded out those supports. And man, I was friggin' strong in this playthrough, so different from back in the day. It was awesome. But yeah, I do wish that there was some kind of, you know, thing that says to the player like, hey, by the way, keep in mind who you're building here, because, you know, this isn't like Sacred Stones. You can't just grind or anything like that. And I didn't realize there would be a difficulty spike at the end. Or maybe there isn't a difficulty spike and I was just bad back then, considering I handled it no problem this time. I don't know. Check the rankings. Oh man, my tactics are gonna friggin' suck. My turn count was like 1,900 or something like that, all in all. Would that be in extras here? Oh, I can check like support conversations and stuff. Man, imagine actually 100%ing this game, like unlocking every support when you can only get like 5 supports per playthrough. Success 10%. Battle history? Wait, what? Oh, that's in Lynn's Tale? No! There's no way I got max on everything in Lynn's Tale. I didn't do Elowood's Tale. I got a save file from online. So, like, this is not me here. I got a save file from online that, you know, let me immediately do Hector hard mode. A decent bit of assets. So this would be mine then, right? Wait. Why are my tactics so high? My turn count was awful. I thought that, wait, and then there's Lynn's Tail again? Wait, what? Oh, in hard mode. Oh! Okay, so this is not mine. None of these are mine then. Okay, so this is mine. My survival was awesome. My funds were really great, but not perfect. If you want 5 stars in funds with Lynn's Tail, you gotta be prepared to, like, just not use a lot of stuff. Like, don't use the strength ring or guiding ring. Not guiding ring. What is it called? Strength ring? Some sort of ring that buffs your attack if you want 5-star in funds. But yeah, tactics super low because I set up auto hotkey and I grinded nil to level 20. Have different requirements. Okay, that makes sense. So whoever set up this save file, this is their rankings. So apparently they went for low turn count and stuff. I evidently did not. My EXP was awesome. I got so much EXP. My combat was great. My survival was awesome because I didn't lose anyone. Yeah, you have to not use some of the stat boosting items if you want 5-star in funds. And then tactics. Yeah, I literally set up auto hotkey to auto grind nils all the way to level 20 for me. So, you know, that was like 100-some turns in the one map. And tactics' turn count, so, you know. And then, yeah, didn't do Ellawood's tail on hard. And Hector's tail. No, that can't be right. I thought tactics was turn count. What do you mean EXP 1-star? Wouldn't tactics and EXP be swapped? That can't be right. Doesn't make any sense. I thought tactics was turn count. And I got so much EXP. Maybe it's rating that about how much EXP I got across, like, everyone. Like, how much did I distribute it across? But yeah, Mr. played Hector Harmon went for S rank. It requires a lot of applying. Oh yeah, like, that would not be for me. I can't imagine doing Hector hard mode and trying to do S rank, or Hector hard mode and trying to do an Iron Man. Like, I would need to be out of my goddamn mind if I tried to do a Hector hard mode Iron Man. Like, dear, that's something that I'll talk about a little bit in my review here. Is turn count, yeah. That doesn't make any sense then. How was it 5 stars? My turn count was just under 2,000. That doesn't make any sense. What? I don't get it. I mean, we've seen all your characters combined. So it should still be good. Because I put a lot of experience into the units I used. It should still be more than 1. This doesn't make sense. This can't be accurate. EXP should be higher, tactics should be so much lower. I don't believe this. I don't believe it for 1 second. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it was one of the ones on the save that I downloaded from online. Maybe it doesn't count for mine. Is it? Can I check the hours? So, 14. Yeah, it's definitely not then. I think someone GDP'd their way through to, you know, have everything unlocked here, which I appreciate. But why doesn't it count for mine? Did I need to save into another slot here to have it count my thingamabob there? Guess only keeps the highest rank stat. Okay, well, I guess we'll never know. Because, yeah, you can't just play any of the stories at the hardest difficulty from the get-go. You need to, you know, first you gotta do Ellawood's tail on normal, then you unlock Hector's tail on normal, and then you have to do that, and then you unlock hard mode, and big pain in the butt. You have to play through the game so many times over to unlock Hector hard mode. I just wanted to hop right into Hector hard mode. I don't have time for that, so that's a little bit sad. Hold on. Link Arena? Can you actually battle against other people in this game? Is that a thing that you could do? If so, it's pretty cool. I never knew about that. That's pretty neat. Sound room, I guess the different themes and stuff. I'm at 96%. What am I missing, I wonder? I'm missing something. No, overwrite yours over someone else's if your tactics are lower. Well, I guess I suck to suck. I got most thingamabobs here, at least. Oh, start, exit. Yeah, I gotcha. Anyway, yeah, so I definitely had some frustration with this game back when. Then on my second playthrough, I just went through arena abusing. I did the entire game through from the very beginning and wanted to say that I beat it, and I used arena abuse, and I got through. And that was how I cleared it back when, embarrassingly enough to say. You know, everyone starts somewhere, and then I played Fire Emblem Awakening as my second Fire Emblem game. But yeah, my experience this time was very different. Like, if you do go in with a plan, it really isn't that bad, relatively. Like, it depends on how we classify things here. Maybe that remaining 4% is a killing Kishina thing on Genesis to unlock the other themes? Maybe then. Well, dang, I guess I didn't get the 100% that I was looking for. Whatever, I'm not playing through this game again. I'm done. But anyway, gameplay-wise, I definitely had a very different experience this time. And one thing that I will definitely say is, when I first started this playthrough, I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to not use save states all that much. I'm only going to use save states from time to time if I'm getting, like, really screwed by RNG or something like that. Like, some enemy randomly crit me, and I don't want to lose, like, the past hour on the map to that. Because, like, I'm a busy adult. I have stuff to do. I can't just have, like, an hour go down the drain because some enemy landed, like, a 2% crit or something like that, you know? It just feels really sucky. So, for the sake of time, I was like, I'll just use them from time to time. I'll probably restart battles from the beginning in most cases. And then I came to realize, RNG screwage happens quite a decent bit, and things that I, you know, couldn't foresee, you know, or just having to take gambles a decent bit of the time. It's made me really realize how much I appreciate the Milla's Turn Wheel, the Divine Pulse, the Time Crystal, in the more modern Fire Emblem games, where it's just like, hey, here's some chances to go back and undo things in case something really awful happened, but you only have so many chances, so, like, you can still lose the map. But this is like the little safety measure to prevent, like, here's like one random instance of this awful thing happening. Now there goes 2 hours, you know, which I very much appreciate. Like, for one, I cannot imagine playing this with, like, an Iron Man run with the RNG screwage there. Like, my goodness gracious, that I cannot envision doing it here. And even doing it without save states, I feel like I would be absolutely miserable. Especially on maps like, the one where we rescue Nino and Jafar, for example. The scrooge that would go on there with, like, the various enemies that would just destroy Jafar, and he would run the wrong way, and everything would go awful. You know, maps like that, it would be so awful that I actually did have to restart that one from the beginning a couple times and hope that Jafar would go another way. But, you know, ones like that, especially when it's covered with Fog of War, it's just like, yeah, I would rather not take, like, a couple hours several times over to clear this one map. So, you know, if me using save states as much as I did throughout this playthrough bothered anyone that was tuning into this series, sucks to suck, because that's how I was having the most fun. Maybe I'm not as much as a Fire Emblem gamer as I thought I was. Maybe I rely a little bit too much on the laws of time, but that's how I had fun, because I feel like I would have been downright miserable if I didn't do it. If I was playing this on, like, actual Game Boy Advance, oh my god, I think I would have lost it. My goodness gracious, it made me come to realize how much I rely on that there. And this game I would honestly recommend for people that are looking to get into the Fire Emblem series, or those that are into the Fire Emblem series and are looking for some other titles to play. I would absolutely recommend this game. But don't do it without save states. Like, either do it on emulator and then you have save states. If you do it on Switch Online, then you have, like, 4 save states. And I felt fine with using my 4 save states because, like, oh, that's the official Nintendo way to play it now anyway, because on Switch Online, you get, like, 4 save state slots anyway, so that's what Nintendo intends at this point anyway, so, you know, you may as well. My goodness. But yeah, let's see here. Only missed out on the secret map, Night of Farewells, so you won't be missing out on much. Wait, what would I be missing out on? I did Night of Farewells. I did all of the chapters. I did unlock every single paralog. We got every single unit recruited, and we got every single secret map done. We did all the things. I thought that would be good enough for 100%, but apparently not. Was the case. But no, we did Night of Farewells. We did indeed do that one. I think that one might have actually been my highest turn count, if I'm thinking of the right one. I think that was the one I had like 230 or something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, this game was real fun. But man, my goodness. Iron Man thing you were talking about in case of Neo Jafar. Oh, I gotcha. But, yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're trying to do an Iron Man run where you unlock every chapter. I guess if you're doing, like, an Iron Man run without unlocking every paralog, then it won't be as bad. But still, there are some situations where I would get absolutely RNG screwed, and it's like, oh, yeah, that would not be very fun in an Iron Man run. I still could not imagine doing an Iron Man run of this game, you know. Definitely not. Try to do, like, max rank Iron Man run. All recruits, all chapters. How hard would that be? That'd probably be, like, one of the hardest challenges in Fire Emblem. I'm sure that some maniac out there has attempted it, but my goodness gracious. That sounds like hell on earth. But yeah, this game gets a little bit a speedrun world record LTC. Yeah, combine them all there. I mean, I guess a speedrun would technically be an Iron Man anyway. Technically speaking, I imagine. It'd be pretty strange if it wasn't. But yeah, this game's good fun, but it needs save states, I feel like, if you want to not be super frustrated. All characters recruited, no deaths, Iron Man. Yeah. I wonder what categories there are for speedrunning this. I'm looking it up. Hold on. Let's go to speedrun.com. Let's look up Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. What categories are there? Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. Blazing Sword it lists it as here, whatever, same thing. Alright, there's any percent, and the world record in-game time is just under an hour 10 minutes, barely. Second place is an hour 10 minutes on the dot in-game time, and the world record is an hour 9 minutes 58 seconds. That's impressive. On a Clone Hero battery controller? So apparently there's just the option between like console and emulator. What? But it says platform Wii U Virtual Console is like the top one there for console. An emulator, Game Boy Advance EMU. Topping that is like an hour 14 minutes. So there's any percent, and there's Linhard / Hector Hard. No runs found! Are you telling me if I did this all in one sitting, I could have submitted this as a speedrun? And then had the #1 spot? Oh, I have emulator selected. Oh, there's one person. There's a whole one person on console that did Linhard / Hector Hard speedrun. TR143 has the #1 spot with no competition of in-game time an hour 53 minutes 10 seconds. Well, I'm on emulator. I don't think speedruns count if you do them across like multiple sessions, right? It'd be so funny to submit this just because no one else has have another world record. I have a couple niche speedrunning world records and like Smash Ultimate Century Smash, but I don't have competition in most of them for most of the character categories. Okay, so I can't across multiple sessions here. But if I was willing to do like a long haul, Linhard Hector Hard, just to keep the stream going non-stop, I could in theory get a world record in Fire Emblem Blazing Sword. I'll do the entire thing on one go. Okay. But if I wanted to, I could in theory do it if I had the time and I was just like, yeah, let's just go hard. Oh wait, they probably wouldn't allow save states in that either, would they? Oh man, I don't feel like going through Linhard Hector Hard without save states. Screw that. I don't need to have a lot of patience. Yeah, I'll pass. But if anyone wants to claim the title of a world record for fastest time through Linhard / Hector Hard mode, like the spot's just up there to grab. Someone should take it. Someone with a lot of patience and time to do it in one go. Because yeah, I'd love to see someone claim that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, anyway, I do love the visuals of the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games. The animations are so visibly charming and awesome. Like, it's just such eye candy. It's great. You know, there are so many enemies on the map though that I did have to turn off combat animations a decent bit of the time because stuff just kept dragging on and on and on. So, also I just now realized the person that did like the quick run through of like 13 hours Hector Hard mode, why didn't the person that set up this save file submit their time? Noah, anyway. Like, they're really charming, but I do wish that, like the more recent Fire Emblem games, you could press a button to, like, skip this combat, or here's enemy phase, press the start button to skip, and then it goes right to player phase, and you see what came of it. And, you know, it'll take you out of the skipping through if something happens, like a character dies or something like that, you know, or someone levels up. So, you know, that's something that I wish was different, but was clearly changed in the later Fire Emblem games, so it's not a super big deal anyway. Anything else I want to mention here gameplay-wise? I wish the support system is so stupid in this game. Like, I had no idea supports were a thing back in the day. Like, when I was doing some research into this game to, like, plan out my team to have an optimal Hector Hard mode run, and I learned how supports work, and it's like, really? I just keep on waiting next to one another over and over again, and I'll wait, like, 50 turns or something like that, and it's like, now here's an option for support. It's so dumb. And then having, like, only 5 conversations per playthrough, and these are things the game never tells you. That's dumb. Honestly. Like, You know, anyone that's going into this game blind like I was back when is not going to know any of these things. Like, I didn't. You know, I did this time and I factored into my plans, but my goodness gracious. So the support system is kind of silly, in my opinion there. I like how the Game Boy Advance games have both like the weapon triangle and the magic triangle, where you have like anima magic, light magic, and dark magic. That was something I thought was kind of cool about the Game Boy Advance games. I wish they had more, you know, dark magic users than just, you know, Athos at the end, and Canas as like your only actual main playthrough dark magic user that you get as an optional recruit from an optional paralog chapter. It's like, what? That's a little bit silly, but you know, I got the paralog chapter back in the day. I don't remember what the requirement for it was, so I remember getting Canas back then. I killed Vida in your first playthrough of this game on Cog of Destiny, and you know, there's no way to know going blind on a first playthrough that if you leave her alive, that you can recruit her later. Yeah, but if you kill her, it's like, sucks to suck. You didn't know. That's unfortunate. There's a lot of things that this game kind of screws you out of by not knowing, you know? Or here's another case, like the fact that you need to get Nils to at least level 7 in Lynn's story if you want the one stupid paralog later on. So the amount of things that you need to, if you want to have like if you want to get everything in your file, like at least all the paralogs and all the characters recruited like I did, the amount of things that you need to keep track of that the game never tells you is pretty silly. That I'm not a big fan of in this game. General gameplay, I do really quite like. I always have fun playing Fire Emblem, and this is, you know, old classic right here. My first Fire Emblem. Just like I figured I would with this playthrough, I did end up having a lot of fun with the gameplay. Weapon rank system was another one that I thought was kind of silly. Like, I would get something to S, and I was like, maybe I can only get one thing up to S, but then my other weapon at A keeps on moving with its progress bar. I was like, oh, I can get the other thing at S then as well, because like the A is going up, and then I would never get to S, and I only looked up earlier this stream, like, what the heck is going on here? I was like, yeah, you can only get S with 1. It's like, man, why did it keep on going up from A then? Why doesn't it just freeze at A to give me a visual indicator that it's done, it's stopped here? Like, green is what means that something is maxed out, for example. Like, if A was halfway done in swords, but then I got lances to S, then that progress in swords should go back to like nothing right flat at A, and then the A should also change to green to give me that visual indicator to say that's done, it's not getting any higher. And then I know, instead of continuing to try to get multiple weapons to S because, you know, the game implied that I could when I couldn't, and I was just wasting time trying to grind it there. So silly. So not a big fan of that. Cannon FE6, ooh, get multiple weapons to S. Interesting. I would have factored that into my team plans here if I knew that I couldn't get everything to S. But yeah, there's definitely a decent few quality of life issues in the game there. Hope things are doing well today, Dromemer. What else here? So yeah, this game does definitely have a fair share of frustrating things if you're not aware of them. So, which is why I was very grateful to have that guide that I was referring to that, you know, wasn't a guide on here's how you do the chapter, like move this unit here, move this unit here, you have to do this exact thing. It would just be like, nope, here's the things that you can get, here's the reinforcements that are going to spawn, here's who you can recruit, here's how you unlock like the next paralog, you know? Like, I was very grateful for this guide. I should link in the description of this series here. Like, I haven't been throughout the series, but maybe I will in this final part here. Because, you know, just having that to know and go off of by Hector Hard Mode Guide, Game Boy Advance by Saint Magician. Thank you so much, Saint Magician. Updated 2004. This guide was made about 20 years ago. But yeah, guide like, here's what happens, good luck. Yeah, that's what this guide was. It was great, you know? Oh, here's their email to contact them if you want to ask any questions. They, I wonder if they're surprised that anyone is still using their old guide here and stuff. So yeah, they just go right into Hector mode, and it's just like, yeah, here's generally what to expect from this chapter. Here's the things that are like, you have to know about them or you're missing out. Go for it. Good luck. You know, it was great. I really appreciated that, and it really helped me get all the things done that I wanted to do here. It really helped me get all the paralogs and all the recruits, so I'm very grateful for that. Because if I was going into this blind, no shot I would have been able to get all the paralogs and all the recruits. There's just no chance. There's no way you would going into this blind. Like, how would you? Some of the paralog conditions are so niche and weird, you know? And yeah, that's fair enough there. Like, I use Serenus Force a whole lot whenever I'm like compiling a lot of Fire Emblem data and stuff. But this time I was like, I'm going with a GameFAQs article there. Just to be safe here in case there's anything that I should really keep in mind that someone in a guide might tell me. And there were some cases that I didn't need to keep it in mind. So, you know, this game, gameplay-wise here, definitely has its faults. You know, it definitely has its trickiness and stuff. So it's definitely not perfect, but it's a good, fun game. And if you're willing to put up with it, if you're willing to have the patience of looking into these things, then it'll be a whole lot more fun. Or if you do just want to go in blind and play it casually like I did with Ellawood's story back when, it'll still be a good, fun time. You're just not going to be getting all the content, you know. I will say, I do think I enjoyed Hector's story more than I did Ellawood's from playing back when. Of course, I haven't played Ellawood's story in years, so my memory on it isn't going to exactly be, like, super fresh. But off of my memory, I enjoyed that more. That was pretty neat. Oh, one more irritating gameplay thing. The fact that your lords promote in, like, the last 10 chapters. Man, what the heck? You know? I got Hector to level 20 so dang fast, and he became the EXP thief. And I was dumping my levels into lords, like, really quickly, because I knew that they were going to start out sucky. I wanted to make them good. But then they all got to, like, either level 20 or very close to level 20. When they were around, like, level 18, it's like, ugh, I should stop leveling them up because, you know, it's going to be 3,000 years until I can promote them. So I wish I could promote them sooner. Because, man, one of my best units of Hector, I just did not want to use for most of my playthrough. Because he would just be an EXP thief from other units that could use it. So, you know, there's that. All Effies like that. Yeah, I mean, well, not all, but a lot of them, yeah. Definitely a whole lot of them. The more modern ones, it's not as big of an issue. You can usually promote them whenever. Not always, but in a lot of the games, it's pretty much whenever. Like, you know, you play something like Awakening Fates, and it's just like, yeah, you feel like promoting? Go ahead. There's not going to be much story-wise for it. I mean, there's the Crumb gets like the emblem on his arm, which he'll just get early if you promote him early, which I think is really funny. But yeah, it was a Game Boy Advance game during a time where handheld gaming was still relatively new. It was gold. Yeah, and I love this on emulator on my phone. I played this on like this was in junior high school. Everyone started finding out that you could get like emulators on your phone, and the Game Boy Advance was the biggest one there. Like, I don't think that there was any phone DS emulators at that point, and I don't think that phones were good enough for DS emulators yet. By the time I was in high school, phones would be good enough for DS emulators. Or maybe I just had like a lesser model or something like that, I don't know. But Game Boy Advance emulators worked great on phones, and everyone in school was playing all sorts of Game Boy Advance games. Most people were playing Pokemon, like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, is what was definitely the most popular around school. But someone recommended me Fire Emblem Awakening, and said that it was a game that they think I'd really like, and I was like, huh, I wonder if there's a Fire Emblem game on Game Boy Advance, since I'm playing a whole lot there. So I downloaded this game, which I thought was the first Fire Emblem game at all, because it was just called Fire Emblem when it was the first international one, so I was under the impression I was playing the first game in the series. I got into it, and man, I thought it was so much fun. Like, it pulled me in a lot more than playing Game Boy Advance Pokemon on my phone did. And there was a friend in my class that I was actually playing some Fire Emblem with, and we were talking about, like, our adventures through this game and, like, our progress that we were making. It was awesome. I loved it. So, I never played it on a Game Boy Advance. I never actually owned a Game Boy Advance. You know, I only started handheld gaming as of the Nintendo DS. I got into it a little bit later, even though most people in my age range started with, like, Game Boy Advanced. So I never played it on the actual hardware. But playing it on my phone in junior high school there, man, it slapped. This was like one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games I ever played on my phone there. It's one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games in general. This was great. Yeah. Like most RPGs have some stupid secrets that are very fun, but there's no way you'll be able to see them unless someone tells you. Yeah, but also in a lot of RPGs, it's also the case where it's like, oh, you can go to this random place in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere and get into like secret cave number 5. There's a lot of RPGs where you can just go and do that at whatever point. Like, maybe you missed it earlier, you can go back and do that. But in a game like this, where it's always moving forward and there's no going back, it feels like extra awful to miss stuff, because it's like, I can't go back and fix that now, and now my save file is just screwed out of that, you know? So, feels a little bit bad. And hello, Clive Judgment, hope things are going well today. You'll love Roy, bro, it's really, really, really late. No! No! But yeah. That's the reason why I don't go too ham-trained the lords in the Game Boy Advance games. Yeah, now I've learned my lesson. I went so ham training them early on because I figured they were gonna suck. I needed to make them good early on. But then I should have realized it was gonna take forever before they promoted, and then they were gonna become EXP thieves, and oops. I'll remedy that mistake when we get to Fire Emblem 6. I'll go ham on Roy to maybe about like mid-levels, just so he can hold his own, and then like maybe take a little bit of a chill pill for the second half or something like that. You know, the Lord Trap, yeah. It's kind of what it was there. Kind of, but not really. Well, I'll figure it out when I get there anyway. But yeah, the other aspects of this game, music. I thought the music was pretty cool. I don't think that it slaps as hard as like the more modern Fire Emblem games. You know, like things from the 3DS onward that I've played, my goodness gracious, the music of those games, you know, will continue to stick with me for so many years. This one has a couple iconic themes that kind of stick with me, but for the most part, and you know, those themes have a lot of nostalgia for me, but there isn't really that much in the way of themes from this that I'm gonna be like super jamming out to later down the line. I'll be listening to remixes of things like Companions, like that's an awesome theme, and a couple other themes from this game, but you know, for the most part, it's like, yeah, the music was pretty good, but it wasn't, you know, like as good as when I think of modern Fire Emblem or anything like that. People think you need to train your lords, but you don't actually have to. Just kind of keep them in the back and stuff. Yeah, I trained my lords a whole bunch, and then it was like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have trained them as much as I did. Oops. And then story. How's the best way to handle, like, how I feel about this? When I played this back in the day and started out playing Lynn's story, I thought that was the story of the game. And I was like, oh, that was pretty alright. But then when it got into like the real meat of the story, I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Nowadays playing it, it's like after doing Lynn's story, it's like just gone from the head afterwards once we get into this. You know, like she wanted to go reclaim her birthright and help her grandfather from the evil guys that wanted to like see him dead and take over and stuff and yada yada. You know, it wasn't really a super engaging plot there. As for Ellawood / Hector's story, I find it interesting. You know, it's not, you know, my favorite story ever or anything like that, but I found it to be an interesting tale. I like the characters in it. I do like the characters of Lynn, Ellawood, and Hector. Hector, the number one there. Hold on. I should move my Taekwondo boards here to show the poster there again. Gosh dang it. Wah. Yeah, there he is. The main man with our mods. And then, gosh dang it, all these boards are in the way. I don't know where to put them. This is from my third degree black belt testing that I finally passed like a couple weeks ago. I need to break a stack of 6 boards put together, so there's 12 halves, which is really cool achievement for me, but I don't know where to put these boards, so they've just kind of been here. Yeah, look at that. Most recent anime-thon I went to, I saw this poster, and I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta get that poster. No way I don't. But yeah, Hector definitely my favorite there. Is the case. Let's see here. Boobity bop. Hector, the actual main lord in FE7. Yeah, after playing Hector's story, and then you feel like, huh, how would this be recontextualized for Ellawood to be the main? Even though I've seen how Ellawood's the main character by doing it in the past. I was like, yeah, Hector feels kind of like the main here. Like, there was obviously some scenes that we didn't see, like on the boat with Hector and Lynn chatting there on Fargus's ship, where it's like Ellawood was chatting with like Fargus and some of the others, and we would have seen that scene instead, where it's like, okay, I could see that there would be some other context we get with Ellawood here. But I feel like the additional background that we were getting with Hector there, that I don't remember getting back when, since I wasn't doing Hector's story before, was pretty neat. I thought that was kind of neato. But it makes me wonder, why are there the 3 stories? Why not just 2? You know, maybe just have like Lynn's story, Hector's story, Hector / Ellawood's story as just one, you know? I guess they really want to encourage the replayability, like here's 3 stories and they can each be normal and hard mode and stuff like that, but you know, I'd rather have it all in just one experience. But that's me. That's me right there. But yeah, the story I didn't think was like a masterpiece of a story, but it's one that's enjoyable, one that will keep me engaged and intrigued and be like, whoa, what's going on here and how is this going to be seen through? And want to see how things are going to be resolved for the characters, most notably Hector. After finding out like this stuff with his brother that I wasn't aware of playing this back when, it's like, oh, well, yeah, I want to see how his story's concluding now and how he's dealing with this emotionally and what his allies think about it and stuff, you know, stuff like that I thought was kind of intriguing. You know, but yeah, I don't know how much I can speak about the story without being like too biased from like this being my first Fire Emblem game and being like, oh, that was really cool, you know. Was the case. I realized that by comparison of some other things, it's like, okay, yeah, that was pretty all right. We're listening to Fire Emblem Fates music from the premium range right now. It'll definitely be a much better story than something like Fire Emblem Fates, you know, no doubt about that. I mean, not exactly hard to compete with there, but you know. But yeah, it's an enjoyable story. But I do realize that this was made as the prequel to Fire Emblem 6, so maybe Fire Emblem 6 will be an even better story since it was made like just as is, rather than this one being made specifically as a prequel story. Maybe I'll be going into Fire Emblem 6 blind when I go to it, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But next up in our Fire Emblem stuff is going to be Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic, because it has been delayed so much. When did I finish Birthright anyway? Hold on, let me double check this here. I'm gonna check here. Really hard for any game to have a worse plot than Fates. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the best comparison. Maybe not exactly. What's something that might be a more fair comparison? I think I like this story more than I do Awakenings. Awakenings had some really cool ideas going for it, but it was just kind of told in a little bit of a sloppy way, you know, and the various different plot lines felt like, I don't know, it gets kind of weird. Like, here's all the stuff with what's his face with the Levin sword there that I'm forgetting the name of, our initial antagonist. That's like, that's resolved. And then, oh, here's stuff going on with Walhart, and he's this evil guy that's gonna take over everything. And now we're going into the end game and taking on Grima, and it's like, oh, we helped Grima because Walhart, this evil conqueror that wanted to take over everything, really wanted to destroy Grima and all those dudes. It's like, what? You know, you know, I just find it a little bit odd in some instances there, but still generally a good story. Now we're listening to Awakening music right now. ID Purpose is the next one in the range here. Hold on, if I go to my Fire Emblem playlist of just all the Fire Emblem stuff that we've done around here. Fates? Oh, I never updated my, oh, because my overall thing is just the overall game there. I was like, played April 9th, 2021 to present? That's not right, because it's just listing the game in general. And that's fair, because I haven't beaten the game in general yet around here. Yeah, I gotta go to my actual Fire Emblem Fates playlist to find out here. So hold on, let me scroll down here a little bit, and then I control F for Fire Emblem Fates. And I need to scroll down even farther in my playthroughs, because it was even further back. Wow, it has been a hot second. Holy crap. Fire Emblem Fates, there it is. Okay, so it wasn't in 2020, it was in 2021. I got my years mixed up. So yeah, Birthright. We did our playthrough of that April 9th, 2021 to July 17th, 2021. So it's now September 2023. So, you know, this is over 2 years later, and I still haven't gotten to Conquest. And it says in my playlist here for Conquest, after Engage and Blazing Blade are done. And they're both done now, so we can do Conquest Lunatic Classic next. I know that it's been a while. 2 years ago. Oh, no. Yeah. Whoops. But hey, there was no shortage of other Fire Emblem stuff going on around here in the meantime. But yeah, ultimately my review of Blazing Blade. I love this game. This game does slap. But, you know, it's definitely not perfect. It has its it has its frustrations. That's for sure. But that right there is one dang fine video game if I've ever seen it, in my humble opinion. But that's how I feel. Oh, poor tired doggy. Hey Jesse. Hey you. How are you feeling, huh? What do you think about Fire Emblem, huh? What you think? Do you think that Blazing Blade is awesome too? I sure think so. But yeah. This actually turned out to be like a perfect length of a stream, because I gotta go to bed here soon to be up at a decent hour to go to Fan Expo tomorrow. I'll be going in my Enharmonia cosplay. And apparently there's even gonna be like a Pokemon cosplay meetup, so I'll go there and see what kind of other Pokemon cosplays are going on. Wait, where's my Zorua? I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe I should figure it out tonight, or I don't know, tomorrow morning. But I was thinking about taking this big Zorua plush that I have along and somehow fastening it to my shoulder. I don't know how I will, but You know, just like tape. I don't know if it would stay on. Yeah, because this would be fitting for N and stuff. So I don't know, maybe I can do this somehow with my N cosplay tomorrow. I don't know, I'll figure it out tomorrow morning if it's feasible. I might just bring like a little messenger bag along or something. Just have the Zorua in there. I don't know. That's a job for tomorrow morning me, I guess. Is what it is. It's just leave Zorua there. But yeah, that was Blazing Blade. Plan on doing Fate's Conquest next. And then we'll probably do Fire Emblem 6 and see how the story continues and see what the hell is going on in Burn. Because Prince Zephiel, he's looking kinda not so nice right now. So, with that, thanks all who tuned in to another Fire Emblem playthrough here. Our first classic Fire Emblem playthrough that we did, since we've basically done like 3DS onward for the rest of our content around here. So this is the first classic Fire Emblem that we've done around here. And I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone that tuned in had a lot of fun with it as well. And didn't get too frustrated with my use of the laws of time. But it needed to be the way that was. That was a good time. Now I can't words today. Now my first Fire Emblem is completed. That was pretty cool. That feels pretty nice. And I cleared Hector hard mode with the power of time and stuff. That was fun. I definitely had a good time with that. Definitely very nostalgic for me as well. That was good. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna get some sleep here so I can go into my cosplay for tomorrow morning, and then head out to this convention. Spent today at a show and shine, at a car show, and tomorrow we'll be at a nerd show. So all sorts of crazy things going on, you know. So yeah, that should be fun. But until Fire Emblem Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic, which I don't know if I'm gonna have time to start it later this year. I ideally wanted to do it later this year. It might have to be sometime next year. We'll see. I don't know. Or maybe life will just get super busy. I don't know. I'll do it eventually. It's been 2 years. It won't be too much longer. So yeah. Until then, have a good night. Take care all. And see ya.